what's on the agenda today? I'm gonna bring it in like I don't know what's going on. But happy Halloween. That's all I'm gonna say.
When is it? Is it today? No, tomorrow.
Ain't it on Wednesday?
Oh, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Is it next Wednesday? No, it's this Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not this
Oh,
Wednesday. Next
I
Wednesday.
know what you
Yeah,
mean.
I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
what you mean. It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
The coming Wednesday.
The coming West, very precise.
Yeah.
Anyone got a party to go to?
Nah, never.
No. When's the last time you went to a Halloween party?
I don't think. When I went to yours and your ex's
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
in your old flat,
Madness.
and them two who was fighting?
Bungle and Spider-Man.
Bungle and Spider-Man. Funny. Yeah, it's a funny fight.
Rolling around in the streets outside the pizza shop. Bungle, get off him.
What was you dressed up as? Michael Jackson? Was you the Thriller geezer?
That's
Yeah,
weird stuff.
Thriller Michael.
T, you should have seen it, man. There's just like me and Lewis were dressed up as like karate geezers.
Yeah.
He was dressed up as Michael Jackson from Thriller.
Yeah.
Then you had a geezer dressed up as Spider-Man, and then who was it?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. And you had Spider-Man and this fucking big teddy bear looking
Bungle
thing
thing.
fighting, like probably outside a pizza shop. Two karate geezers.
Well,
just
going
stand-
for it.
Yeah, like
like
actually
fist fight
fighting.
on
Yeah,
it.
it looked pathetic, man. And everyone's dressed up.
Yeah. Lewis and Richard's karate outfits was funny as well because they're like bright
They're-
red and silky and that.
And they were fucking
They're like-
identical as well.
You look like a masseuse.
Yeah, they were silk.
Masseuses.
They were silk. It looked like it was
Ryu and Ken.
yeah, bro. But they're wearing the same colours. Isn't it?
How do you Why would you wear why would you wear that to Halloween?
We had nothing to. We just went to this Halloween shop, and that was the last
Couldn't
thing
be
left.
arsed, didn't
Nah,
that,
that was
mate?
all that was left. That was all that was left, man. It was last
Tell
minute
you,
thing.
You got to plan ahead for Halloween.
You shouldn't have let them in, man. She said, nah, that's a shit outfit.
That's
You
right,
come in.
man. But
They rushed the door and that.
It's a mad party, man. People pissing up people's cars and that.
yeah, I remember that. It's called the mark.
Was it up the Merc? I don't know why they did. Why did it? I don't know. People drink and get a bit crazy.
I've never got drunk on for, I was pissed on this car, yeah.
That's nah. To be fair, I pissed up a shop window before, but that's and the night, so nobody's there really.
Yeah, like the corner, the edge of the shop and that. where it's a
Nah,
bit
like
shaded,
the
innit?
actual shop window. Just
Oh, you're one of them.
yeah, I was fucked, man.
Did you write your name on it?
Nah, I just pissed up it, just laughing. Look at me. How can we think it's so like we? How can people what's so cool about pissing up a window? Like
Nothing.
just
'cause
stuff. It's not funny, is it? Like when I look
Nah.
back, it's not funny to me. It's funny that I did it because I look and laugh because I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Not because it was funny.
It's like on the lowest end of the scale
Yeah.
of rebellion.
Yeah, it's pathetic, man.
It's probably on the lowest end of the scale of things that are funny as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Just giggling to yourself in the window.
But there's some people that
pissing on the window.
I can see people like if that was on like a You Being Framed or something. I can see like families sitting there laughing their asses off to stuff like that. You know, some people's humour's so low. Like
Oh.
just a fart, someone farts and they're just laughing their ass. Like
No, that's not.
it's
Well,
not.
You talk about people's humour being low. I think that, and then I saw something the other day. It was stupid, but it made me giggle, man. It's like this guy's on the beach and he's naked, but he's covering up his dick and balls with a frisbee or something. But you can see the shadow on the side of him, so you can see like the side. And he's just got his little. It's like and then the line underneath is when your shadow betrays you. Poor guy.
So yeah, Halloween anyway. So what?
Soon to be.
So like, we all interested in the origins. Where does it really come from? Yeah,
Where do
Is that
you,
what-
where do you think it comes from?
I don't know. This is what I want to talk to you two about.
You want to
innit?
delve in?
This is why I'm delving into this. I want to talk about it because
So Halloween is a pagan tradition, yeah.
first off, how come paganism or the pagan religion gets such a bad name?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like,
Like,
people don't realize. Yeah,
I've
like,
always like.
it's not a bad.
Obviously, the modern term is
Yeah.
different now. Like, you're a pagan.
But if you don't know the real word, why would you use it in a like? You can't use it.
Negative light.
Yeah, when wasn't really negative anyway. It was only made negative by the Christians and the Catholics, like because they weren't following their God at the time.
Yeah, it's like for people that are non-Christian, and it like
Yeah.
an insult to them.
And it was like they just worshipped, like when you were talking about, they were worshipping the trees. They had the harvest. They had their harvest gods and
It's
tree
like a
god.
reverence
Yeah.
to nature, innit?
Yeah,
The sun and the moon.
they worshipped like the world, like just nature and everything like that. So when I see the people like, oh, you pagan, I'm like, yeah,
Because apparently the origins are Neolithic, innit?
yeah,
And the original was Paganus or Paganus, whatever.
Mm.
Don't know how you pronounce it, but that basically meant country dweller, innit?
okay,
But then I've always heard the term pagan,
yeah.
but never really understood it, innit? Like I
Mm.
never thought I need to look into it and that.
I only
But it's
look
always had like a bad
something
used in a negative
yeah.
way, innit? So I thought,
I was watching a show called Supernatural, man, and that's when I got into the not into pagan, not like I follow it, but there was like a episode on like a pagan god in it.
Sound like you're defending yourself, but go on.
Yeah, there's an episode on a pagan god.
I got this friend that's really into paganism at the moment.
Yeah, just asking for a friend. Nah, and they were talking about the pagan gods, and well, there was a god that was killing people and shit and all that madness.
yeah.
But so I had to look into it. I was like, oh, pagan, like what is this under this religion? And I looked into it. I was like, oh, so it's not this devil worshipping crazy religion. It's nothing to do with devil worship.
But that was always made out to be, innit? But I
Mm.
think because you got
by
in,
the church.
in there, there's all like Wiccans on it, innit? And
Mm.
witches, and they do spells. But
But
when
the
I've
witch.
looked into it, the spells are mainly based around like
Ah,
herbs and
this
that
is
and
where I
all that
wanted to
shit.
come from with the
Yeah,
witch
yeah.
thing. There were what was the origin? What's the witch's name?
Wiccans.
But-
I
and
think that's a modern term, no,
and
I'm
it-
not
Modern
sure.
terms, it's a branch off from witches. or
Because you had the
Wiccans.
Druids, like what you said,
And-
heathens.
yeah. And it translates to
Wiccans
wise woman,
or witches.
wise woman, doesn't it? Witch. That's what it actually translates to. It's
I'm not
it's
entirely
meant
sure.
to mean wise woman.
What witches?
Yeah, but the old word for it
Yeah,
was meant for wise woman. So like, how did it go from a positive, and then turn into a negative? I've read
So
some.
when they started doing witch hunts, yeah, was that aimed at pagans then?
Well, I don't see
'Cause
this
there
is
was always these witch hunts back in the day, innit? Like if you
No, so
deem yourself a witch, you get burnt on a stake and that, innit?
So yeah, well, our trip from Prague probably shed a bit of light on that because there's like a famous witch hunts there. When I say
Yeah.
witch hunts, so what basically it's anyone who seems to be opposing, like
smart,
smart,
smarter than
the, thoughts
the
of
average
day,
person,
smart.
Yeah.
and thinking outside the box, thinking differently.
It's just having these basically radical views,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or I suppose.
Like,
I suppose
sometimes
acts
if you
of-
get
acts of
infiltrated-
and that's
miracles.
why maybe a wise woman, a
Yeah.
witch back then, they were doing things outside the box with herbs. They were using different things, and it seemed like magic back then, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And they see that as what the fuck. And it's a woman back then as
Yeah,
well.
but
So
then sometimes if you get infiltrated, some of your traditions become
yeah, always used
illegal or
used in a bad
not
way.
illegal. What's the word? Outcasted, innit?
Mm.
You get me?
Yeah, I just that was a bad example, by the way. I'm thinking of heretics.
Heretics,
Yeah,
heretics, heretics.
It's not a witch.
So basically, from what I've gathered, paganism is like a spiritual tradition in reverence to nature, innit?
So it's practice. It's a practice of a worship outside of, you know,
Yeah.
the religion of the day, i.e., Christianity. So, if you believe in multiple gods rather
Yeah.
than the one true God,
Like, because
You're a pagan.
polytheistic and that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But then apparently, like what I said before, it was used as an insult outside the three main, was it Abrahamic religions, innit? So maybe that's how it's taken on a negative light, innit? Because if you got country dwellers, I don't know what you define as a country dweller. What's a country dweller? I don't know what that hand move was.
They look like he's in an R&B video man, for the 90s. A country dweller. I don't know. Probably someone who worships off the land, I'd imagine. It seems like a bit of a vague term, no?
Yeah, it is vague.
But I suppose if you talk about pagans and how it all come about, so you mentioned the Druids, considered pagans. Apparently, like Halloween, come from those guys. Like
Yeah.
was it like 3,000 years ago?
2000.
2,000.
Apparently.
From the Celts, originated in Ireland, I think. And so yeah, this because I just looked, man. I was thinking, why do we bother with pumpkins?
Yeah.
And then so the Celts they like carve the pumpkins as lights for spirits, for the
Okay.
good spirits to find a way home in the
Yeah.
dark. and it's like this festival. That's how you got pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. They're called in America, innit? Because they originated from Ireland. Because the Irish immigrants brought it over.
And they didn't use pumpkins in the first place. They used something else.
I don't think America or didn't know.
It wasn't yeah.
It was like butternut squashes.
Something like that. Yeah, it wasn't a pumpkin at first.
Yeah.
Because the original festival was called Samhain, innit? Where people wore costumes to ward us off ghosts and that, innit?
Which, yeah, and
to
Samhain.
warn them off.
Yeah, to warn them off, yeah.
And in Samhain means summer's end. So like it's coming to a because it's a summer solstice. Yeah. The solstice is coming. The winter solstice, you know, all that kind of stuff happens. It's turned into a new season and shit, and it's a new time. So yeah.
What I read was that the festival you mentioned, Samhain.
Yeah.
The Druids started this kind of autumnal festival. Because they thought it was like it was evil spirits that brought on the shorter daylight hours. And the cold weather. So they started this festival called Samhain as a kind of to kind of not anger the evil spirits too much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of to appease him.
Yeah.
They started this Lord of the Dead festival, which is now Halloween.
But then when
31st of October.
When you research on that, like all the history is different, innit? Like you find something and it just tells you different things, innit? Like, oh, it started here, it started there. This is it. This is that. So you never you kind of always have an idea, but you never really know, innit? Like everything's different.
I think
like
it definitely started in the Celtic.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that's kind of agreed on it, that originated with the Celts like 2,000 years ago in what would be, is it kind of like modern day Ireland and sort of northern France.
Yeah, and it's probably Scotland as well.
Yeah.
Chinese kind of area.
Yeah.
But you're right though what you're saying, because the more you research it, but all the things I've read is there's like a running theme across the world.
Yeah.
Everyone does some sort of festival around this, not even Halloween. This kind of autumn thing where they kind of celebrate the dead. Not even celebrate or make offerings, these kind of things.
So do you feel like that was the original origin and then it spread worldwide?
Yeah, it just catches on, doesn't it? So like, I don't know, or not even just catches on. Maybe it was done, like Dad said, in different other cultures, like the Day of the Dead in Mexico, Mexico and stuff, and some of the South American countries, and then you got it over here with the Celts. You had their one, Samhain. Yeah. So they even do it in Asia, don't they? They have like I'm not sure if it's a Day of the Dead, but they do something where they what's that one where they set all the lanterns off in the air?
Yeah, I just had it on here actually.
Is that China?
A lot of Asia do it. Southeast Asia, a lot of them do it, and they set off all the.
The Philippines have got one.
Yeah, this is kind of a similar one. A lot of Asia.
Japan have got one.
What's it called?
So Japan have got a lantern one.
And that's where they've.
The Obon festival, dedicated to the spirits of their ancestors. And it's red lancers hung around the area of the festivities, and the candles are then lit and placed into the lanterns, which are sent to float down rivers and seas.
Yeah, some of them float down the rivers, don't they, as well? Remember, we missed the Lantern Festival in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, we had the mayor.
But yeah.
And also, from looking, they're saying like the original Samhain was celebrated on the 1st of November, innit? And they're saying that they believe the night before New Year, because the 1st of November was like the Celtic New Year, innit? That the boundaries between the living and the dead became blurred, and that ghosts returned to the earth, innit?
It's dark, man.
So, like, okay. So, you know when you was talking about the witches as well?
Yeah.
Tell me more, Richard.
So, basically, a witch was a pagan goddess known as the Crone.
Yeah.
And she was honoured during Samhain. So, during Halloween. So, the
because
witch has originated from Halloween.
Adds into what you're saying quickly there. Like, it says the Druids built bonfires on it, innit? And then sacrificed animals to appease the deities.
Yeah.
Black cats.
Yeah.
And the Crone was also known as the Old One and the Earth Mother, who symbolised wisdom, change, and the turning of the seasons. So, and now it's changed to the all-knowing old crone into the menacing, cackling witch. So, how has it gone from this goddess that was worshipped, wise, and a woman as well, Like, so I'm gonna appease all the feminists now. Like, how is it gone? Is this men changing the? Are they trying to change the tide there or something? Over the years, has it changed like that? Because it just seems to me like there was nothing. A witch was never supposed to be evil.
But
Never,
then
ever.
apparently, in 43 AD, what was then Ireland, and then it got invaded by the Romans, and then they merged some of their festivals with sowing, so the tradition of it changed.
So it
innit?
all mixed. Like it's like a mesh thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So one of them
okay.
was called Feralia,
Mm.
which commemorated the passing of the dead,
Yes.
and the other one was called Pomona, which was about the goddess of fruit and trees in it, and then that's where it's believed that Halloween game come from, where you have to fucking
Oh, the
apple bobbing and
bobbing.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's mad. That game is. I feel like I'm drowning in that.
Your face all sticky and that.
Yeah, I don't want to get my face out though. I have to get an apple.
Fucking unhygienic and everyone's just dribbling in the water.
Oh,
and
now
that,
you've now I'm
like-
thinking. Oh, I never thought of it like that.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that's
Little
disgusting.
Jimmy and his snotty nose just in the water. Like,
Yeah, this is good fun. Isn't it?
no, Jimmy, you got something under your nose there.
Jimmy, get the fuck out.
I was good at that as well, bobbing for apples. And that. I was good at it. I used to be a champion, man. World champion bobbing for apples.
No one else is playing.
So that's a challenge to anyone out there who thinks they can beat
But
me.
there's more context to it as well. So it says, from what I gathered, I made a note. It's saying, eventually as well, sowings was combined with All Martyrs' Day and All Saints' Day by Pope Gregory III. And then in the 9th century, Christianity started to spread,
Mm-hmm.
and then
This is
they
where I
tried to replace sowing with All Souls' Day, which was also called All Hallows and
All Hallows Eve, yeah.
Hallow
yeah,
Mass,
yeah.
and it, which now became Halloween, and it. So I think it's now how we celebrate Halloween now is completely different to how it originated, and it, because it's been merged and amalgamated with all those things, and then the narrative in it's changed, and it to suit
Usually,
whatever
whoever's in
was
the most popular
in
at the time,
control
really.
at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and instead of
yeah.
Romans or whatever.
the Christians, Catholic,
Yeah,
that type
yeah,
of the one true God, and then you got like the Christians were expressing concern that Halloween was a satanic ritual that pagans used to do, but
yeah.
but ancient Celts never ever worshipped anything resembling the devil, and they didn't even have a concept of somebody that evil or that bad.
But that's probably to demonize
This-
paganism, because it's
Yeah.
against
Because they
their
so when they've
belief was
yeah.
outside Christianity, innit? And
when
obviously
they've come and
Christianity was
invaded,
spreading,
yeah,
innit?
man, yeah. So when the Romans come and invaded, or whoever did come and invade, they've seen that they worship this. That's not the right thing to worship, obviously, because it's not.
Yeah.
it's
And
not
just
there.
demonized it, innit?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
This is evil. Telling,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
tell,
yeah.
but you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd go and you'd see them worshiping that. You'd be like, hold on, they need to tell my people.
Like Christians
Follow
now,
my-
innit?
yeah.
Like they have their view, and then if yours is outside, like you're going to hell and that. Like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, man.
Like,
You
all
don't-
religions do it to each other,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
your religion's the
yeah,
the
yeah. You're going
heathens
to
and
hell,
devils
yeah,
and
yeah.
what the fuck? Hold on, but we all worship one God, don't we? But No. Yours is different, no. Your God's different to mine. Your God's from that part of the world. Ah, you're a mad bastard.
Yours is brown and mine.
Yours is brown. Your God. Fucking dumbasses.
But
But-
I think from our conversation and just the reading around it, it's just as typical. Okay, everyone is kind of doing this celebration. There's obviously a ritual that's going on in it worldwide
Yeah.
at this time of year,
Yeah.
and now it's a case of there probably was satanic, festivals around the same time
Yeah.
for similar things, but in their version. And from what I'm seeing, it's happening all around the world, but in different versions of it. But coming back to what you said, was the witch called the Old Crone?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, was it Roman invasion?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Greek god is Kronos. You heard of Kronos, a Greek god?
Yeah.
No, that was a titan, innit? Kronos was a titan.
Yeah, but he's the god of
But he wasn't a god. He was a titan.
okay, well, he's a mythical hit, isn't
No,
he?
no, I know what you're
Okay,
saying.
the mythical
But Kronos, he was the what was he? The god of
it was time.
the titan of was it time? Kronos.
It's time Kronos.
Yeah.
And that
Because you had
that's
Gaia.
where you get the word chronology from.
Mm.
So if it's the old crone, I'm thinking if they call it the old crone, and she's in charge of the change of the seasons, it's just this kind of you know when you said about switching characters.
Yeah, yeah.
It's from a man to a woman.
Yeah.
And then the woman comes this type of thing. So
Mhm.
it seems the dots connect themselves. I think.
Because anyone who invaded anyone, yeah, you'll see the tradition that's there in place, and you probably take the best bits, merge it with yours,
Exactly.
and then just fucking dismiss all the bad things in it. So that's what it sounds like they've done with that as well. To be fair, because how can it go from what I expected when I was looking into it is not what I found. Because
What was you expecting?
what I've heard, like pagan, oh, that's a pagan holiday, that's a pagan tradition.
Pagan chick.
So
This is what I'm.
Everything was
yeah.
already painted in a negative light. So when I
Uh-huh.
was looking, I was expecting to see bare negative, like devil worship
Yeah,
and shit
yeah.
and that. But then it wasn't like that, innit?
No, it's nothing to do
But
with
then,
that.
because paganism is polytheistic, innit?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's modern religions that are classed as polytheistic as well, like Hinduism
Mm.
and Buddhism and that.
Yep.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
by right, they're pagan shit as well, innit?
Mm.
And then when you trace back, you're saying like Egyptian beliefs kind of started out as polytheistic as well.
Ah,
innit?
for sure, man.
So I was expecting just I don't know what I was expecting, some sorcery, witchcraft, all this bollocks. And then when I've looked, it's just the opposite, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking, how come this negative narrative still carries on to this day?
Yeah, it is. But I think because now Halloween is it is what it is now because it's so popular in it. So
Yeah.
it's they've just turned it into a scary, like it's supposed to be like this now,
Yeah,
and
it's
it?
just like, yeah.
It's what people like. It's popular right now. So
But America made it popular, don't it?
It's like the
Because apparently Halloween spread because of the invasion on what was the island now?
when Ireland.
Yeah,
immigrants
the immigrants went to America and they spread the what do you call it?
That Halloween.
That
Tradition.
stories and tradition in
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then America embodied it, and then made it is what it is now.
But yeah, I mean, to me now, I see Halloween is like you were saying, because you think, oh man, this cannot come from a good place. This festival can't. But
Yeah,
obviously, you know, America's commercialized it to make it more fun.
yeah,
When then you know, as most things you look into, it's like, this is pretty dark actually.
yeah.
But to me now, like in the modern era, Halloween is the way I see it anyway. Is now a celebration of stories.
Yeah.
So if you think everyone, you go in fancy dress and so you go as Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Dracula,
Yeah.
and then these are just famous. These are like world class stories.
Yeah, these are modern adaptations to it because
Yeah.
these are not in the original forms, innit?
Exactly.
So they've been added in
Exactly.
along the way, innit?
So that me, I see it as like a celebration of monster stories.
But in America, Halloween's
yeah.
just business now because it's supposed to be like
it's the second highest grossing
after
holiday
Christmas,
after Christmas.
innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
And ain't it a holiday now? It wasn't a holiday
So
initially.
it's an actual holiday.
yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't a holiday initially, innit?
Okay, so I was just
Second,
looking at
second highest. Sorry, I just find that crazy. Second highest grossing. That's a lot of money.
What did you think it was before that? Before you researched it?
Fuck knows, really. I would, but I don't know. I wouldn't think.
But that just shows what it's becoming, it.
Yeah, it's become a money
Yeah.
marketing
Yeah.
massive.
So
So,
all
people,
identity to the actual origins probably just long gone, innit? There might be some that are still
there are people that actually do
within
still.
it, innit?
Yeah, but it's not a lot, is it anymore? I might,
'Cause
I might go pagan, man.
in UK there's apparently 57,000 pagans in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might join this one.
So apparently it's the biggest, the largest non-mainstream religion.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
even though it's not classed as a religion, it's
Um,
some people see it as spirituality, innit?
Yeah, because they more worship
Yeah.
in quote like
And
what,
there's-
like everything, don't they? They
There's
worship.
no scripture to it or
No,
nothing,
there's-
innit?
you just-
yeah. Or
you just
like
thank
kind
for-
of philosophy,
Yeah,
innit?
you're just thankful for nature, like the gods of this and that, the harvest god that brings the food every harvest, and
I'm sure
all
there'll
them
be some
different
sort of ritual.
the god
and
from the sun, all that shit.
involved.
Yeah.
Of course,
No,
there's
some
always
sort of
there's rituals
tradition.
in anything, isn't there?
Yeah, I love a bit of
there's
a bit of a ritual.
To do
Kill a little,
rituals,
kill a little animal here and there. there's
apparently
stuff
they have
for-
rituals at the Stonehenge and that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Say that again.
They apparently have rituals at the Stonehenge.
Yeah, that makes
Like pagans,
yeah,
innit?
that was put by druids, wasn't it?
Was
That
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Druid, the
yeah,
Druid,
Druids.
like during the Druid, like I can't remember
Yeah.
the period of that time in it.
And
It's like Neolithic, isn't it?
Uh,
I don't know.
Is it? I think it's the Bronze. Is it the Bronze Age?
I don't know.
I feel like that's way too old.
I'll have to ask Google Gogs when I get home later, man.
That's the Google. But yeah, that's a site of worship and ritual, apparently. But we got Druid Teeth as well up the road.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
So, you know, it's everywhere. It's all around.
I was thinking that earlier.
What does Heath mean? Like a mat? What does that?
Isn't it like a hill? And
yeah,
that?
I always thought it was it's like a Druid's hill or something, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Druid Teeth.
Mad thing.
Doing bits.
Look at these druids up here. Look at these.
So just to clear up, you know, because we was making a bit of a, you know, was dancing around what witchcraft is, what a witch is.
Yeah.
And I was just reading into it. Thanks, Rich, man.
It's alright.
You don't have to rub my back as well. That's not necessary.
Off topic, yeah. Pause a sec.
I thought Ricky was like off topic. Yeah, stop rubbing man's back.
Nah. What's the place by Worcester called?
Which one? Oh, Droitwich. You talk about Droitwich.
It's not that.
I know what you're saying because it's saying
Droit, Witch, innit?
Trying to connect the dots.
Yeah,
Witch.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you got
Switch.
Witchbold. You got Witchbold
Yeah.
next to it.
Ignore witch.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Switch.
Yeah, but Droit Witch, the Druid's Witch, Droid Teeth, yeah. He was making sense when I was
So
like,
pay. Yeah. No, I agree,
I
man.
can't get
It's
it.
actually spelled witch though, isn't it? Droit witch.
Yeah. Is it?
There's something. Yeah.
Could be something in there.
Well, it's the belief and witchcraft is the practice and belief in magical skills and abilities exercised by practitioners. So yeah, views practicing these kind of magical spells and that can be hunted and executed.
But it's not necessarily negative though, innit?
No, not all the time.
This is what I mean. Like, I'm confused. Like, all this time, how does that negative outlook on paganism still surface? Like,
So,
regularly? Like,
how? Yeah.
why is it still considered in such a negative light? I suppose it kind of could be because you live in a Christian country still, innit?
Yeah, no, it's what you've been fed, innit? That's all it is. It's what you've been fed.
Because the mainstream religion here is Christianity and America, innit?
So the whole country would have been brought up where pagans were always going to be negative because that's the rhetoric.
Yeah.
That was the story of the time, and it's carried on like that.
And it's non-Abrahamic, innit? So
and you don't get taught about it in school, do you?
It's interesting. Though.
Don't get taught. The furthest back in school you go is the Romans, innit? Really, most of the time. You go to the Romans and that's it. They want to learn nothing past there.
They go as far as Greece. Past that. No, basically nothing existed past
But
ancient Greece in history.
Because they don't want to go past Asian Greece.
Oh, it's getting a bit dark now.
Shit gets ruined if you go past Greece, innit? Like,
That's
you're
it.
like, hold on a second.
Yeah, all your
Yeah.
fucking beliefs go out the window once you go past there.
Yeah,
innit?
innit?
Too much melanin
Yeah.
involved after this point.
What? Black people were everywhere.
Oh, it's a bit dark in here, innit? Oh, fucking hell.
The modern mathematical system.
Astrology. Fucking hell.
I thought.
Burn these books. Don't
Burn
let
them.
anybody see this.
Trust me.
Well, no, it's interesting.
Wow, Stonehenge is like 10,000 years old as well.
10,000 years. I want to go there, and I've never been.
We should do.
I want to
We
go.
should plan this trip, man.
I'm down to go.
And back in them times, it was surrounded by forest and that.
It's in Wiltshire, innit?
I don't think you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go up to there. I don't think you can go actually up to it and see it anymore. Though.
Yeah,
Why?
I think they stopped people going up to it
Yeah.
Why?
because people were like just ruining the site.
Pissing on it. People like you and that. No.
Yeah. Look how funny I am.
Pissing on Stonehenge.
Oh, mate.
So you can't even go there no more.
Nah, well,
I want to see it though.
You can go there, but I don't think you can do this here like what these people are doing.
Well, I like
yeah, you
inside
can't
it
actually.
and
Yeah,
that.
you can see it from like a
Probably a
perimeter.
viewing
Then
point
there's a
now.
perimeter in
That
it. Yeah.
shit that is.
We should still check it out.
Nah, I want to go still. Wiltshire's not that far, is it?
Nah,
Couple
it's down the
hours.
road. Stonehenge, really. It's not that far, man.
Nah, I want to go and see it, man. I'm down. Tell me when I'm
The
there.
religious temple. However, the Druids are believed to have built the massive structure, and the Druidic religion was much more likely to conduct their ceremonies in groves of trees rather than in a man-made structure. Whether or not the Stonehenge was surrounded by woods before remain doubtful. 10,000 years ago. How can you? They can't prove shit. Like no one knows what was there 10,000 years ago.
Speculation.
Yeah, it could have been.
I suppose you could guess by the age of the trees and all that shit. innit?
True. Yeah, they can
Carbon dating.
carbon
Yeah,
dating and all
carbon
that.
dating,
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's accurate. But there's a disparity in carbon dating, in it. Like
Mm.
it can go be like a few thousand years either side, and that, which is like a massive disparity, to be fair.
Do you believe in ghosts,
Ghosts.
spirits, souls?
You have a spirit and we have a soul, apparently, innit?
Do you believe it?
What, in a negative Halloween sense?
No,
Like,
no. Well, in
ooh,
any sense.
a
Yeah,
man in a
but-
blanket. Like,
Yeah. Have you ever had an experience?
Nah.
I tell you what, bro. I had one in Prague, not long ago, a
Just-
couple of days ago.
Oh, is
What
this the
happened?
story? You was,
This is what I was going to tell you, but I
Okay.
said I'll save it for
I've
this.
been
'cause
waiting
it's,
4 hours to hear this story, so it better be amazing.
nah, like,
Anticlimax and that. Wah.
I've never like.
Go on.
I wouldn't say I'd never believed in ghosts, but I don't know. You've always, it's always in the back of your head, isn't it? It's very old and it's very ancient, isn't it? The city, it's an ancient city, and I stayed in this apartment in a really old building.
Yeah.
It was really nice in the apartment and that, beautiful, like 20-foot ceiling. Like the ceilings were fucking high and that, like the massive rooms. It's just big, and at first I was like, oh yeah, it's all right in here, it's nice and that. But the whole time, like as soon as I went in there, I just don't know. As soon as I entered the place, I felt weird. But I just shake that off and be like, oh, I don't know what it is. So yeah, chilling and that. Watch some movies. Then I went to bed, and I'm in this room, and like basically, so you got this room, big high ceilings, and then above you they've built like another floor. So that's how big the ceilings are. So they built like a bunk bed, but floor for a floor. So there's 2 floors, and you can climb up to the other, and it's got some more beds on the top, but you can stand up there. So that's how big the fucking place is. So you can do that. So, but we sleep under it, obviously, and yeah, this room was weird. It was a bit creepy and that. So I fell asleep. I was like, it just felt weird, but I was like, nah, I'm cool. And have you ever had that feeling where you've been something sitting on your chest while you're sleeping, and you can't breathe and you can't wake up?
I used to get it all the time.
Did
when I was
you?
younger. Yeah, very regularly actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was happening to me, and I could not wake up and I couldn't breathe. And my D, I had to say D. She had tapped me and that woke me up, and I was like when you wake up and you're like fucking hell. But I could not go back to sleep after that. The whole time I just felt like something was in the room. Yeah, this could just be in the dream and me being all paranoid. So that's happened, and I'm like, next morning we go for breakfast. I didn't want to scare her or nothing. Like, I didn't want to say, do you think there's like, is this haunted, this house in here? And I was like, I didn't want to like set off some alarm bells in people's heads and that. So I didn't mention it. And then I've gone to, so yeah, we're at breakfast, and I just mentioned that I had a bad dream in it, that something was holding me down. And she goes, you know what? I couldn't sleep all night, and I just felt like there was somebody watching me all night. So that set off alarm bells in my head, because it wasn't just me experiencing it. So that's a bit. Yes, you'd be thinking, so it wasn't just me. You know what I mean? She thought she was seeing things as well. I'm not seeing things, being watched. She could feel something as well.
Yeah.
So that's two people, like not knowing that we both thought that until I brought it up.
Yeah.
And then the next.
I feel like you should have the light should light under your chin.
Nah, there's no big punchline to the end of the story, but then the next night, above there I had to get an extra pillow, and the whole time I was like, "Fuck, here we go! I gotta go up there and get an extra pillow." And that I was a bit shook and that, so I gone up, I got an extra pillow. And you ever felt where you've gone somewhere? It felt like I walked through something. My whole body went all shivery and cold.
Yeah.
My nipples went hard, goosebumps. I was fucking shitting myself. I was like, what the fuck was that feeling? So I got down there quick and I gave her the pillows. I was just lying in bed, couldn't sleep all night. Just lying there. I was watching the curtains, because the curtains were long and that. I thought something. It just felt weird in there. And every time I left there in the day, like I had no bad feet. Like it was just like I'd leave the building and I was like, just everything was cool.
Really?
But as soon as I went back in there, it was like I was tense and I was always I felt like I was on edge all the time in there, and felt like something was watching me the whole time. And then the next night, like I couldn't sleep again. I was trying to sleep, and I had some mad dreams where every time I was falling to sleep, it felt like someone was just waking me up. Every time I'd like nodded off, something pushed, like just tap, nothing mad, just tap me, and then I just wake up again.
I've had that loads of times.
Oh man, it was fucking. Oh, cheers for ruining my whole story. So it's normal then, is it? Just normal, yeah.
Have you ever had that?
Just a
It was
normal
like,
feeling.
yeah, all the time when I was younger.
But then D was having the same experiences as well. And then the last night we were supposed to stay there. I was like, yeah, loud. We're not staying here. And then I moved to another hotel, and I was fine. It's like I slept like a baby. Everything was, I don't know, man. Like the apartment I was in before, never had no problems, nothing. Went there, couldn't sleep for fucking 3 days.
Really
All these
old as
weird,
well, that
really old building. Like, and when I say old, I'm talking
Gothic
Gothic times. So like 1400s, probably later, even later, innit?
Yeah.
So
Earlier.
yeah, and then I left. Yeah, earlier, sorry. And then I left, and I felt good again. Some fucking weird, man. I've never had that experience before. And
They call it, the term for that is sleep paralysis. 'Cause
that,
obviously
yes, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah,
So there's to say the science behind it is they say so your eyes would be open, but your body hasn't woken up, for lack of a better term. So your brain's not sending the signals to your muscles just yet.
Yeah, I had that one time, like I woke up,
And it's freaky.
I could see, but I couldn't move and that. Like I felt like I was being possessed and that. It was horrible.
Was you trying to shout? And
I was trying to
That's what-
move and
yeah.
I couldn't move. I was like,
that's what I was trying to do as well. In that dream thing, I was trying to go to like try and be like, "Dang, like I can't breathe, like I can't." I was trying to scream, but I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything. And then she like tapped me, and I was like, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's
I
the
was trying to
worst.
speak, but I couldn't say nothing.
But I'm telling
And I
you,
was trying to move. I'm just lying there, like, oh shit! I thought I'd been possessed.
it's
It
haunted
was
there, man.
mad.
It's a scariest experience.
No, it's not a nice experience.
But what they used to think back in the day was like a demon was sitting on your chest.
Yeah, what they call it? They called it something. But they still say that though, because people say they actually see something on their chest as well.
Yeah, I've never had.
Because
that.
I saw some. Well, I didn't see. It felt like there was like some. I couldn't see their face. It was just something.
Holding you down.
But it wasn't just holding my body. It felt like they were squeezing my lungs.
Mm.
That's what was weird about it, man. And that's what scared me, man. It was so freaky as shit. I was proper shook, man.
No, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
So do you believe in ghosts then?
I do after that. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do, man.
Yeah, because of probably things like this. I don't think. Obviously, there was a bit.
The night hag, the incubi. That's what she was called. They were thought to sit on the chests of sleepers. In Old English name for these beings was mare, from the Proto-Germanic times, Old Norse. Hence comes the mare. No, hence comes the mare part of nightmare. Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was considered the work of demons, the incubi.
But yeah, to answer your question too, yeah, probably not in the way it's portrayed in mainstream, but there's stuff going on. Like I've even like you ever had
like souls in another dimension and that.
Yeah, I
Kinda
mean,
overlap.
Oh, like a heaven, but not heaven, but
Not heaven,
or
but
just another.
we exist in a dimension,
and then our
there's
soul goes to another.
spirits or souls that exist in another dimension, innit?
This is.
I'm not sure. I can't,
Do you get me?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I honestly, obviously, I don't know what.
We all don't know, but
it is.
if
But
you
there's
look through the
something- there's
history of man,
Yeah.
they all believe in an afterlife.
Yeah.
It can't be I can't say it can't be, but there's the world to be so big and to be around for so long, and we all still think of an afterlife. Even some of the most hard atheists still think in the back of their mind there's something else after.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just logic that won't let them.
There's a feeling there. It might be instinct. We might feel there might be something, and that's why we feel it. That's why we believe it, or it's something that's just been. I don't know. It's just part of our psyche, maybe, just as humans, that we want. Our brain just makes us believe there's an afterlife.
Yeah, it's just maybe it's just like intuitive knowledge, like this
Yeah.
kind of like you say passed down through humans.
Mm.
But I had it before, so I was downstairs in my mum's living room, sleeping downstairs, probably watching some wrestling or some bullshit. One of them WrestleManias at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And you're gonna say the Undertaker come
Yeah.
knocks your door and that. I bet you sleep and you just hear the gong. Smoke filling the living room.
Poor bearer and that.
Yeah. Looking through your kitchen window with the urn.
It's just my next door neighbour asking for some sugar.
Yeah. Oh God, sorry.
Yes. And my cat started hissing at something.
Oh fuck, this is already
I
fucked
look
up.
over my shoulder. I'm thinking, well, I can't see anything. It's probably nothing. But keeps doing it. Doesn't hiss. This is what cat does not hiss at
Anything ever.
anything. Nothing there.
Yeah.
Just kept hissing. And then my dog got up as well.
Oh, this is nuts.
He was looking at it. And
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything, man. And then I heard like some. It was like a faint. It was a faint noise, like it's not a scream, but there's like a faint groan, I'd call it.
Like a
Freaked, man.
like that.
It was horrible, man. Jumped up, lights on, ran up. Mum, get up, man, get up. What, Darren? What? Someone in the house? What's going on? Yeah, there is. What do you mean? There's a ghost.
There's a ghost.
You dickhead. But nah, I was like, nah, man. She's like, don't worry about it. Mum was like, don't worry about it.
I just want to know what this groan sounded like.
Where's all the Cadbury's chocolate fingers gone?
It was probably rich, man.
Getting a Chris sandwich. That's really white on the
cracks me up, man.
But because it's ever since then, yeah, I can't deny it anymore.
I was smart at them times because with me, I was like, I'll just leave the light on. You get me? Lights on all over the house. And like, the fuck you doing?
What the fuck you doing?
You don't pay no bills in here. You get me? You get me?
For the ghost.
Fuck that.
Light makes you feel safe, though, don't it?
Yeah, because I'm thinking.
Always makes you feel safe.
Yeah, the dark's just, what's that in the corner? There's shadows everywhere and that.
It is. The darkness is weird. Like, the darkness is. It's a different type of world, isn't it? It's a different world, man.
You ever slept in the dark?
Yeah,
without
man.
your quilt?
Nah.
It feels weird.
Who does that, bro?
The fact that you've never done it, it's crazy.
That is what's weird, though. Like,
who just sleeps without a quilt, for one?
When you're hot.
Who just sleeps without quilts, and that?
No, when you're hot, you never take your quilt off.
Yeah, but I put I'd use a sheet and
Exactly.
I'll get a blanket on that.
That's what I'm saying. So even if you don't need it, you just cover yourself up in it.
Huh?
Try sleeping
with nothing.
There's nothing.
Why? With this,
vulnerable, man. It's horrible.
It's cold, bro.
Vulnerable to the wind.
Trust me. You wanted to feel vulnerable. It sounds like you just want take me.
Oh, so vulnerable. Go sleep then. Fuck that.
What the fuck, bro? You're
a weird guy, you know.
Oh shit!
Listen, we're all into different things, innit? So expect
That's
been in
weird
too long.
You was weird before that.
Oh, I've been weird for years, man. This is off topic, man.
Yeah.
It's good to embrace your weirdness, man. Because life is very boring if you don't embrace it.
I'm talking about proper weird, though.
Yeah.
Like the sock on that.
The sock.
Everybody knows about that sock.
Everyone knows.
Oh my god, Darren! I remember you told me to get it as well.
Man,
you said I remember sitting on your bed and going, "Get that sock."
Do you know what? I won't name names, but someone we all know started this sick and twisted tradition.
Yeah.
We all know him. I won't name his name, but
it's gotta be.
He'd have
got to be him. Fuck's sake.
He had a sock full of hard. A drawer full of hard socks.
A drawer? You just had the one. He had the drawer.
At least I rotate, man.
My days.
Yeah, I was gonna go off topic, but I feel like now is the perfect time to change the subject. I was gonna say, what's your favourite horror movies of all time?
Halloween H2O, you know.
Why? Is that one with Michael Myers?
Yeah. It's just, I thought it was a good film, innit? You know, you don't have that one standout film that you always revert back to. I just feel like that's a good film, man.
Actually, it's not just,
it's not really scary like that, though.
You like the story?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
I hate them horrors, man. You know, them horrors are just, the story's shit. And it's
just
like suspense moments.
Yeah.
You know, try and make you jump all the time.
It could have been because LL Cool J was in there on that. Like, even the cast was alright in it. So it's like, I like this film.
Good times, them times.
Yeah.
Noughties, late 90s, probably. It's good time.
It's a good film.
What about do you ever watch the Blair Witch Project? That's one of my fear. I didn't like that one. You never watched the Blair Witch?
I never watched
We
it.
watched that.
That stuck me.
It?
We watched that.
Oh yeah.
Me, you, and Ricky watched
Don't
it.
you
Oh
remember?
yeah.
So we was just bored.
You
Yeah,
bored?
it was shit on it.
You know why?
Because like, why just got a
you
camera in the woods or that? What the fuck?
Because you was with each other.
T was packing it the whole way.
Shit.
You know why though? When people do that, that's when they're scared, bro. That's when they're
Yes.
scared. They're like, they need to talk through it, bro. They need to talk.
Look around. Like, your boy's got a camera though.
Bro, I never see. I got woods down just right by my house. After I watched that, I never went back into the woods for years, man. Years. It's the bit at the end where you just see she goes into that little wooden house, and she just sees that just in the corner and that just standing there, and then the camera just that fucking freaks me out, man.
Nah, but as like well, in terms of cinema, film history, it's sick and it's
it was
innovative.
It's
Yeah.
above its like it was way before its time, and it handheld camera. No, it wasn't. It was lowest budget. They just ran through the woods. Didn't know what you didn't see. That's what was scary. You know what? The best, scariest movie, the one when you don't see nothing for ages. You just
it's just the whole thing suspense.
yeah. It's like the first Alien that used to scare me because you don't see the alien for ages. You just see little bits of it, and it's just fucking flying around his spaceship, and you don't know where the fuck this motherfucking alien is, man. It's scary.
Never even watched that.
Bro,
I watched Alien Resurrection. That's the only one I
you
watched.
watched to Alien 1, Alien 2. Oh, classics, man, classics.
Alien
bro.
Resurrection is just too good. I'm like, I don't watch them.
People swear by aliens. Though, don't
Yeah,
they?
Yeah.
They don't like it. They love aliens.
Yeah, there's no one that don't like Alien. It's fully sick.
That's a strong statement.
And
But Finger was
it
good as
holds
well, but it wasn't a Halloween film. The first Paranormal Activity.
the first one.
was good until the end, but it had different endings on it.
Yeah, they had alternate endings in it.
Because the one I watched, there's some demons came out. I was like, it's ruined it, man. If you hadn't cut him out, like I thought it was real at one stage, I was like, oh shit.
Horrible film.
And then the demon came out. I was like, oh, it's not real. But that was a good film, though.
Yeah,
But that
nah.
wasn't a Halloween film, though, was it?
Not
It could
really.
have been.
But
though.
you watch it at Halloween.
Yeah,
You
it
watch
could
it
have
when
been.
yeah.
though.
You'd watch it at Halloween. Oh.
What about yours, Rich?
So you got Blair Witch. It was my biggest fear for years, man. That
Yeah,
old
me
one,
too.
the first, like the original.
Yeah,
But I watched the newest one.
it's a good film, isn't it?
Brilliant, but fucking scary still.
Really?
Yeah, bro, I don't like it, man. It's creepy, man. That's what I think they're they're the best horror when it's creepy, man. Not just monsters. Monsters don't really scare me. Monsters, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
a monster. It's spirits and creepy things, like
Does
that.
it make you uneasy?
Yeah, man. And if you're watching, when you're watching a film and you look somewhere because you're like, I'm like, if I'll be watching a film in the dark or something, well, not in the dark, but with the lamp on, I'm watching it, and then you always see something in the corner of your eye, and you're just like, what's going on here tonight? You know what I'm saying? It's a bit freaky as fuck, man.
The one.
Was Chucky a Halloween movie?
Not really, but I think
Nah, you can definitely class
But
it
yeah,
as a
and I
as
think-
a Halloween.
The Gremlins and that. That one.
Gremlins was a fun. Gremlins fell into that weird.
that's
Yeah,
my
it was like-
Christmas one.
yeah.
That is. That's my
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
one, innit?
But my favourite, like one I think I quite enjoy, probably Scream. I think just 'cause it ain't scary, it's
No.
kind of fun. I think the stories are. I like the twist at the end as well.
What's the end?
The end is the killer. You think it's like probably some deranged like man, but it's one of the guys from school. I think it's the two of the guys are doing it. Yeah, two of the guys from school
Oh yeah,
are running around and are doing it.
yeah.
It's a sick twist at the end, man. And
Nice.
it's kind of corny as well, so I kind of like it, man.
Yeah, I think that's what was good about it, because it was. But then you had loads of films start coming up, like I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that.
Ah, yeah,
They all
yeah.
like followed that trend of that
You
type
know,
of
run the fucking
teenage.
run.
Yeah, the
someone
run person.
over and-
Yeah. And then he comes back and, well, it wasn't him, was it? That actually come back. It was like someone else new. That's why it's called. I can't remember the story, but
I remember the film though.
see, I can't really talk on a lot of horror stories because I don't watch them much. Because I still to this day I'm not a fan of
Being scared. You
scared,
don't see
yeah.
that as a good as your idea of fun.
Nah. My mum loves it. She said it makes me feel something. I'm like, what the?
Easy,
Like, so you got no soul, Mum. You got no.
There was a phase where I went through. There was a time, and I went through a phase of watching Most Haunted. Yeah, but then
That
I
gets you,
thought
man.
this is shit, man. He's always talking. to the demons. Yeah, but he's not talking. I think he's not even talking to no one. But you can hear his lights on the background. Like, what's that? Like a chair moved and that. I was like, shut up, man.
It's
Just the geezer in the background, just moving the chair and that. Like, it was entertaining, but I was like, it's not real. I stopped believing it was real and that.
You ever watched The Ring?
Yeah, that was sick.
That's
creepy.
That one's
was
creepy.
sick.
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. You watch
Japanese original, isn't it?
Korean or Japanese?
Not
Is it
Japanese horror. film,
Japanese,
but-
yeah. Yeah, there's that. The Ring. You watch the Japanese one?
Nah.
I've heard the Japanese ones is
Worse than
isn't it?
yeah. And then there's another one called The Wailing. I dare you to watch that.
I've heard of it.
I've heard that. I think I was talking about that last night. At the party.
Show the Wailing. To watch it. That's what I'm saying. On your own, in the dark room, but I dare you to watch it, man.
I'll be honest, I don't. Cause I get
The
scared.
Wailing. I tell everybody to watch The Wailing. Watch it, and then come at me.
But I don't watch horror movies because I'm scared. I don't watch them because
Not interested.
I don't want to jump. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
not-
like the unexpected. Man, oh, fuck you, do it, man.
Oh.
You get me? I don't like jumping. The films are actually scary. It's just that being it.
Yeah, I don't like jumping either. But the new It movie made me jump a lot of times. I don't like jumping.
What do you think we're obsessed with then?
What,
With
being
this
scared,
horror, like
scaring
this- Why
ourselves?
we attracted to being scared in this horror kind of thing?
Because people go to those mad horror houses and stuff, don't they? You know, like they love it. Like you go to somewhere to make yourself feel scared. Like,
what is just these horrible, these evil things?
but the
Why are
back
people
in
so fascinated by
I
it?
think because like it gives you that frightful feeling, but you know it's not real, but you're still scared as well at the same time, even though you know
so
it's
wanna
not
feel
real.
something, you wanna feel
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
it's kind of like thrill seeking, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah,
getting
in a
that
way.
rush, you're getting the
Yeah, yeah.
adrenaline and shit
It
going.
is, yeah.
I'm still not into it though. Like, it's not
Yeah,
my thing, man. I've been to. Have you been to any horror houses?
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
Which
to a
one? Have you
few,
been
yeah.
to the Blackpool one?
I don't know.
Yeah, twice.
Yo, that was mad.
Not scared by them though, because it's gives ooh,
Nah,
thinking, but you
bro.
just got makeup on though.
Nah, bruv.
And people don't feel
See the Hellraiser geezer just standing there.
Yes,
The worst part.
things
What?
like that's not scary though.
Are you mad? He was just standing there, and I made Lewis trying to push Lewis in front. I was like, "You go first." He was like, "Nah, bro."
Nah, do you know what it is? If you, I was like, I used to, I look for the biggest person in the group.
just
and
hold
just
on to them.
hold on to them, onto the back like this.
But I don't want nobody behind you. I mean, I want someone behind me and in
That's what
front of
happened
me.
to me, man. The second time, I
Bro.
was the one at the back.
Yeah,
I think
nah,
I went
it's
to one at
horrible.
Alton Towers. Was it Alton Towers?
Oh,
Not Alton Towers, sorry. Drayton Manor.
mm.
Something like that.
Oh, that one Drake man is dead,
But
man.
you're sitting in a room, innit?
Yeah, but then it
Oh.
starts spinning round.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Didn't me and you go to Drake
Yeah.
Manor on our own?
I don't know, maybe.
And we went on that. No, that was Alton Towers. Remember, we went
Yeah,
into
we went Alton Towers.
and we went to that scary ride and that. I thought something was touching your feet and that. Like the floor just dropped.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was shocked. It was similar to that. You're just sitting in somewhere, and that girl was like trying to get
Yeah,
off the
yeah,
chair.
yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as that, man.
Yeah.
Fucking scary, man. Oh, nah, I don't like it.
The people in the costume don't understand.
Nah, man.
I know that you work here, like it's dead.
I saw you having your Greg sausage roll on your break. Man. I just pulled his mask up and that.
There's having a faggot.
Fucking shit.
I'll see you in there, lad.
You on the Freddy shift?
But what goes through my mind when I go on them is, what if a mad person gets in there? You know what I mean? Just dresses up, walks in,
Weird in
and that
that
starts,
and
just starts chopping you up. That's what goes through my mind. Just mad stuff like that.
Firstly, I don't think they'll be given a usable.
No, I'm talking about someone just walking into the park
Mm.
as going to
Why
toilets,
you
getting
have to
changed, and then walking in there
Why have you gotta bring that up?
because it might happen. Innit? It's not hard to do. If I wanted to do that,
Ah, yeah, no. Let's put this idea out. No, nice one, man. Go on, you just put the idea.
if I wanted to murder a lot of people, I would go to a fancy dress shop, get some fancy dress, get a real axe, go to Alton Towers or something, dress up when I'm in there, and pretend I'm part of the crew, go in, start chopping.
If someone does that, yeah.
Start chopping wood.
If
Start
someone does that, you're gonna be like,
I'll be
number one suspect. innit? Telling you, just listen back
I'm
to the
s-
podcast.
I'm
innit?
shocked now. I'm shocked. Imagine someone does it. That'd be mad. That would nah. I advise nobody to do that. It's not good. It's not good. Nah, that's not me like telling people. I'm just saying it could
No,
happen.
people
Peop-
can be impressionable.
Very
The
impressionable.
youths
The
of
youth of
today.
today are very impressionable.
can be very impressionable.
Don't do it.
Seeing that adult sort.
Remember that clowning that people were doing a couple of years ago?
Or the fake chainsaws and that.
Yeah, they're just like dressing up
yeah.
as clowns everywhere, just standing in the middle of the road and shit.
And like when
That was
someone
shit,
walk,
wasn't it?
when someone walk past,
Yeah,
they get a chainsaw out.
Yeah.
Do you ever see them ones?
Yeah,
it's mad.
That's just scary.
Did you ever see
You
them
never seen the
ones?
clowning?
Nah,
Oh, bro.
I vaguely remember.
Did hide in a grass embankment. Someone come through the tunnel and they jump out and yeah, like the chainsaw and run after them and that.
When it like a big kind of
That to
There's a
clamp
big-
that
Yeah, that's a clamp
Yeah.
down on it. Like, the government had to get involved.
because
Yeah.
people started like beating the clowns up in the air.
Cover shotguns and
Because people were getting angry, man, because it was scaring
It's
people.
scaring me, man. I like being scared.
mad.
Clowning. It was mad. On clowning.
Remember happy slapping?
Oh, that was.
The one I remember the most is when the geezer's riding like by the canal and that, and he gets happy slapped off the bike and
I don't remember that.
into the canal and that. You don't remember that?
Happy slapping was mean, man.
And I remember one the geezer happy slapped someone and got banged in it outside the shop. Did you ever see that one? Yeah, happy slapped the geezer and then the geezer banged him and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that happy slapping was some bullshit, man. People going around. You remember the Tango advert? That was kind of a happy slap thing. Remember?
Yeah.
They
You
just
got
went up to him,
tangoed.
slapped him in the face. He
Tangoed.
got banned, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got banned. The whole thing advert got banned. It's mad. I can't find that clowning, but yeah, there's
We know
people
what you're on about.
like say with me and you went in outside now, like it was night time. Someone would just be sitting on the wall outside, dressed as a clown, and they'd just be staring at you, and you don't know what to do really. What would you do? What would you do?
Run.
But then people were getting
Or
angry.
ask for a giraffe balloon. One or the other.
You got a giraffe balloon, lad.
So I'm proper simple.
Make-
He's got
make
a
us a balloon,
chainsaw
then.
or something. I'll have a giraffe balloon, please. Well, you're not scared?
But then there'll be people going down country lanes in a car, and people just be walking up the road in a
Ah,
clown
nah,
suit,
that's too much,
just
man.
staring at you.
That's too much. Man.
Yeah, but then people were getting out of the cars and beating up the clown because it was pissing people off in the end. Because it was scary, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
imagine you got kids in it as well.
Fuck that.
Gonna get-
Fucking clowning bastards.
You're jumping out and there's like 5 man deep in a car. And that.
That's what was happening. Yeah, that was happening.
Some jumping out gangbangers.
Yeah,
Oh, fucking hell.
You clowning on me?
What you saying, fam?
Mad thing. So, yeah, we're an hour in.
Lovely.
1 hour.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Ooh.
Be safe. Don't be clowning. Happy slapping motherfuckers.
Let's all go back to paganism. That's what I think we should all
And don't
do.
be knocking no one's door asking for sweets. I know that's weird.
You knock my door, and I might start chopping.
Yeah, that's a real trick or treat though.
I might start chopping.
And then for our special pumpkin carving competition, you send in the best pumpkin wins a guest ticket to the live Inverted Introverts podcast. Send your pumpkins in now. Or don't. I'm going to carve a pumpkin just by the way. And I like it. I encourage you to do it too.
I've never carved a pumpkin.
Well, that's your challenge, man.
I have. It's quite
Something.
therapeutic.
It is
to do.
therapeutic. Cutting things straight. That's it. This is a bad, this is a bad message.
It's quite therapeutic.
I take it back. Don't carve pumpkins.
Why?
It's a waste of pumpkin, isn't it? That's gonna eat it, isn't
It is mad, isn't it? We just waste food like that. Just
Yeah.
like, let's get all the food out. Let's
What you do,
fucking
you just scrape the inside out, you throw it in the bin,
throw it in the bin. You know? What the
Trust me.
fuck? We're so wasteful.
eat the pumpkin, fam.
What you? Oh, I'm just gonna make a face out of it. Innit? Oh, okay. Yeah, sound. Yeah.
We're such a wasteful
It is.
nation, ain't we? Not nation, human
You
race.
just buy pumpkins and carve them and just throw the insides in the bin.
Sounds sick and twisty when you do it.
And I think pumpkins are quite nutrient dense, aren't they?
They don't, does not use pumpkin, do they?
Just pumpkin soup, maybe.
Oh, it's
I've
me-
had pumpkin soup after making a Halloween pumpkin.
Make some soup or something.
Let
Do
me see.
something with the pumpkin at least.
Pumpkin
What are you googling?
nutrition. I want to see how good, like, if they are quite good. This is the food is low in saturated fat and very low in cholesterol and sodium. It is also a good source of vitamin E, thiamine, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, and a very good source of fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, riboflavin, fucking everything. It's quite a good food. But have you ever tried it?
Yeah, it's nice as a soup.
It's alright.
It's alright, and it's not nothing to shout out about.
What's pumpkin and veg?
I don't know actually.
What is it? Vegetable.
Let me have a quick
Probably. What?
The most disrespected vegetable on the planet. And
The most hated vegetable. They're gonna kill it, chop it up every year for no reason.
It's pumpkin fruit or vegetable.
You can roast the seeds though, innit?
Pumpkin seed. I like pumpkin seeds. Yeah. Is a fruit.
There you go.
It's a
Oh.
product of the seed-bearing structure of flowering plants. Vegetables, on the other hand, are
Oh, it's got seeds in its
Yeah.
fruit, innit?
because
Yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
have
That's the rule. That is the rule. I forgot about that rule.
most disrespected fruit on the planet. Then.
Oh, and because pumpkins are less sweet and more savoury, from a culinary perspective, we categorise them as vegetables.
Confusing, like.
No, people just classify them as vegetables because they're not sweet, basically.
Oh.
They are fruits.
But they are fruits, yeah. So yeah,
Good stuff.
And on that note,
have a nice, frightful
time to
Halloween.
say
I hope you all get
goodbye.
haunted and hope you have a good time. Get drunk, piss up some windows. Someone dress up, get an axe, and go to Altar. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Or do it. Nah, no, don't do that. It's fucking stupid. So
You're arguing with yourself. But that's
maybe I'm trying to stop myself doing it. Yeah, no,
Weirdo.
just go and have some food, fun food.
Weirdo.
This is when you get weird.
Weirdo.
We should have dressed up for this, man.
Oh, could have. Oh,
Next time,
never mind.
as you like these little.
It's not even Halloween, though, technically.
Technically, yeah.
So we're alright.
All right then.
Alrighty then.
Peace out.
Bye now.
You too cool to do a like.
Yeah, I'll give you thumbs up. You'll see.
Yeah. We're done.
We're done.
Press the button, man. Press the button. Yeah, press the button.
Press the button.
What's that, Russia?